Welcome to the store.
This is Video Store Clerks. All movies, all the time. Welcome to the store.
Oh my goodness, we're back on Wednesday nights. Welcome to the store. Tonight is the night. Tonight is the night. Team Freddy takes over. It's a Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger night in which we all, your humble video store clerks, pick our favorites from the entire Nightmare on Elm Street series. We're sticking to the format because the last couple times we've done franchises, we kind of picked three of our favorites. Yeah. But we want to make it clear that the original, the OG, should just be implied as being the best. So we're not going to count that one. Nor I don't think we're going to count Freddy versus Jason. Because a couple weeks ago on our Friday the 13th episode, we talked about Freddy versus Jason. So check that out if you want to get our opinions on that 2003 masterpiece, Freddy versus Jason. One more thing before we get started. A shout out to all of our new YouTube subscribers. In the last 28 days, we've gotten 118 new subscribers to our channel. So thank you very much. Keep them coming. And join us in the chat. Once again, welcome to Video Store Clerks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'm Dave.
Chad.
Chuck.
And welcome once again to a very special Nightmare on Elm Street night. I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this one. So I guess we'll go our least favorite to our favorite. But I gotta say, picking three was tough. Even when we cut out
it really is tough.
The original and Freddy versus Jason, I still had a hard time picking three.
Oh yeah.
So with my least favorite from the three, I'm gonna go for an unpopular opinion. I'm going to say part 5. I actually like part 5. I think A Dream Child is pretty underrated. I think it came at a time because A Nightmare on Elm Street, I think, got its peak with 3 and 4. I think Freddy Krueger was at his peak popularity. He was on MTV. The TV show was out. And at that point, it started to die off. It came out in 89, I believe. So the 80s were over. Our slasher movies of the 80s were over. But 5, I do understand some of the gripes because it probably had the least amount of kills of probably any slasher movie. There was only 3, I believe. They were brutal. They were brutal fucking kills.
Yeah.
Dan, Greta, and the comic book dude, I believe, were the only ones to die.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that that one got a lot of shit because at a certain point in the series, 4 and 5 got serious. Like you had the first one that was like uber serious, and then you had the second one and the third one, and they started getting a little bit more demented, more demented, more campy, like just shit that's just like off the walls. And I think that one gets a bad rap. It's not on my list, but I do enjoy that one though, just because it is so fucked up.
And yeah, I can appreciate that coming off of part 4 where Freddy, it got real campy real quick. 4 was fun, but where do you go from there? It's going to be like the fucking 60s Batman TV show here in a minute. It's going to get a little bit out there. But 5 went back to dark, which I can appreciate. Stephen Hopkins, I believe, directed it. Lots of dark image. They had the castle, that asylum. We got a little bit of backstory on his mom. Which Freddy,
poor lady, by the way,
actually played one of his dads in the asylum, which was cool.
What'd you say?
I said I felt I talking about his mom, and I was like, yeah, I feel bad for that lady.
Yeah,
like I mean, that's a gangbang like no other.
And that was pretty brutal too. I mean, I don't know if we'd see anything like that nowadays. With
that story plot's pretty. When you actually think about it, it's kind of fucked up. It's kind of genius almost. Son of a thousand bastards.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of an interesting thought. doesn't make a whole lot of sense because what it's implying is that like all these people gangbanged her and their semen mixed together and it was all evil. And so it's kind of a fucked up thing, but I always enjoyed it though, just because it was so fucked up.
Yeah, what they call him, the bastard son of 1,000 maniacs.
Was it 100?
That's what it is.
I think it was it looked like
Probably
1,000 were
100.
probably in there.
It was 100, I think. But either way,
100. What this thing? Because he does that movie. He's in that movie, 1,000 Maniacs, or whatever the fuck. Robert Englund.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's what I keep. That's what fucks me up. About
Yeah.
And another rarity was Alice from the fourth one survived again. Usually the survivors of the previous film would never survive the sequel. That was kind of the like an unspoken rule in slasher movies back then.
Yeah.
But no, Alice survived again. And I believe in the original or one of the original scripts for part 6, Alice's son was supposed to come back and fight Freddy.
Okay.
But we'll get to part 6, I'm sure, at some point.
We will.
That's all. Your turn, Chad.
We'll go ahead and do. I'm still undecided.
And
It's tough, man. I'm probably gonna go
it is tough.
New Nightmare.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh. Okay. Nice.
Like, that was just a total different take on Freddy. Like his background, they kind of brought him from like fucking hell up to the real world, and then summoned him up, and then it was just the fact that it was like a movie in a movie, but it was real, and it was a mind fuck.
It was a lot like Scream.
Right.
That came out about a year later, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just like a whole different view on Freddy, and plus he just looked way, way darker and more evil, and had that new fucking glove that was made out of bone.
Mm-hmm. Which is fuck. I used to have the arm. That was just I was just on that thing. But the thing about New Nightmare was that it wasn't actually even Freddy. It was just a demon that took form of Freddy.
Right.
Because of Heather Langenkamp's fucking fears. I think honestly, I think New Nightmare is very underrated.
Yeah,
very underrated.
Mm-hmm.
I do too. Because I mean, a lot of people just don't like it because of. I mean, it is kind of goofy at points. You know what I mean? Like what's real, what's not, what's dream, what's not. Like it wasn't super clear on it, but I mean, they made that shit work.
I mean, yeah, like it wasn't like cheesy, like Last Action Hero. You know what I mean? Like they did it in a way that you could take the movie seriously,
right?
Incorporating the fear of the hurricanes or earthquakes, with nightmares happening because something disaster is going to happen and all that. Yeah, and there's some really good kills in there. There's some kills in there that are reminiscent of the original. You know what I mean? Like it kind of goes back, like in the hospital when babysitter gets it. Who didn't see that one coming?
It was reminiscent of Tina from the.
Yeah, she gets tossed on the ceiling and sliced apart.
Tina.
Fucking Dylan makes the hellacious run across the fucking LA highway and doesn't get hit by a car, but then he gets picked up by Freddy and like airlifted to his house.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's out there, but it's out there in a good way. I like New Nightmare.
Yeah, I enjoy it every time I watch it. It's pretty dope. Like I always wanted to get that mechanical glove that they were working on in the beginning.
The one that's like it's like itching his nuts before he kills the father.
Yeah.
Like and he's just like, what? And then the thing is, that would be a Freddy move. That would be completely a Freddy move. Oh, there was something else I wanted to say about that since we're talking about it. Oh shit! I drew a blank. It might come back to me. I had a good point to the toilet.
The Nosferatu shot when he's walking up the steps.
Yeah.
Was very cool, especially with the claw.
Yeah.
And then like Robert Englund working on the painting, and it just was like fucking like a really fucked up version. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, he had a pretty decent part in that as just Robert Englund. I'm sure he appreciated that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, 'cause it showed. What I always liked was the fact of like when Heather Langenkamp goes to Wes and Wes Craven and he's just like, oh, but are you ready to play Nancy again? Like he's just like, it's very like, oh, like here's the idea. What if this shit actually? This is how this went. You know what I mean? Like, I dig that kind of shit, and it's done really well.
See, I like how it was done at the end with John Saxon whenever he's just like out of the sudden just calling her Nancy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
She's
yeah,
like, what the fuck you keep calling me that?
He was
Yeah.
back in
Oh.
Why
uniform,
are you calling
too.
me John? I'm your dad.
Mhm.
yeah. There's so many things. That movie actually, like, I actually do love that movie a lot because it really is like scary. There's a lot of like moments in it, you know, like
Right.
when Kiddo is running across the fucking highway, like you're sitting there going, I know he's not going to get hit because it's going to fuck the story up, but Jesus Christ, you know, like and you know when they're at the playground and he's standing on top of the
Yeah.
the thing, you're just kind of like, God damn it! Like there's a lot of those moments in it. But I remember what I was going to say though. I used to have before I saw the movie. I had the book adaptation of it,
Right.
and the thing about I don't know the backstory. I need to go look this up. Thinking about it, but when it at the end of the book, it makes it seem like the author of the book disappeared. Like his manuscript was on the desk, and that's like that's a book that I really wish I still had, but I'm an idiot. But I always thought that was kind of interesting. They made it seem like, oh, the author of this book he just suddenly disappeared. Now it'd be even cooler if he actually disappeared, you know. But there's like I think there was something in it about like there was only traces of like blood and claw marks or some shit, and like they make it seem like
Right. Like
it is real. Yeah, they do it with. I love the fact they did it in the movie and they do it in the book too. You know,
That's pretty dope.
That's fucking
Yeah.
genius.
yeah.
It's sort of like how the internet marketing is today. Is it real? Is it not real?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that about the book, though. That's interesting.
Yeah, that was a book that I used to read. Like I've got my Demon Knight book too. Those were two of my favorite books to read. Was the Wes Craven's New Nightmare and Demon Knight, like the book adaptations of it. Because like the books are usually like because the movie came first, you know. But
That
so
was
they're
a
pretty
book.
close to it. But at the same point, there's still the author's little twist on certain things. And I always dug that shit.
And I would find like adaptations, like novels of the movie, would make more sense of the movie. Like even the book for Alien Resurrection was like way better than the movie. It actually made the movie make sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I never read it, but I could imagine it probably is better than watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're gonna do an Alien episode. We are gonna do an Aliens episode.
We were just
But not
talking about
now.
earlier, like what kind of franchise to do next. We can do Alien next.
I'm down with that. I'm
Yeah,
down with that.
Let us
Totally.
know in the chat. What do you guys think? Let us know.
Yeah,
in the
Alien.
chat, please.
I think that'd be a fun one. But yeah, I have nothing else on that one. Chad, I'm sorry, I totally took over your fucking thing.
No, man, like you pretty much made all the good stuff. Like it was just a dope ass fun movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Even, like the end, whenever like it's like gets all Hansel and Gretel when they're in the fucking.
see, I love that shit. I love that scene. I think that's one of the darkest, just most disturbing scene. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like for like, it's just there's something just
But then
creepy
again, like
about it.
he's after the kid, and like that's what he fucking got burnt to death doing anyway, was killing kids. You know what I mean? So like now back again, he's actually back to killing little kids instead of teenagers. That
Yeah, right? Yeah.
it's like the people's like kids that the reason why he's dead. You know what I mean?
Richard
Oh, yeah.
agrees with Alien.
Game over, man.
Game over, man. Game
All
over.
right.
Alien.
Thank you for your input, Richard.
But tonight, it's Friday night.
Tonight
I'm
is your
having a
night,
good
bro.
time. Tonight is your night, bro. Tonight is your night, bro.
Oh God.
All right, Chuck. I'm very curious, Chuck Nasty. What do you got?
Well, my number 3 is one that it's like 50-50. 50% of people like it and 50% of people don't like it. Freddy's Dead. I'm that movie holds a special place in my heart anyway. I used to watch it with a buddy of mine that is no longer with us, and we used to watch the shit out of it. And it's just we would go to a place called Roar's Video in Winchester, and we would rent it, and we had that, and it was like the only thing we watched. It was that, Breakfast Club, Pet Cemetery, and Slumber Party Massacre 2. Like that's all we ever watched, like for a whole fucking summer. And Freddy's Dead was always like that was you want to watch Freddy's Dead? Yeah, okay, cool. Oh yeah, and also The Crow too. I can't. We also big Crow fans, but Freddy's Dead, I like it. It's funny. There's a lot of interesting cameos in it. Roseanne Barr and Tom Arnold are in it at one point. Alice Cooper, the Godfather of shock rock. He plays Freddy's dad in Freddy's Dead. There's some of the fucking deaths are just ridiculous. Nice hearing from you, Carlos.
I was just gonna say Carlos and Spencer's.
Yeah. Oh, the video game shit. Yeah. Like,
Freddy's Dead's my number 2.
Ooh, interesting.
good choice. But I love. A lot of people gave it shit. People were already pissed off because of comic book dude getting slaughtered, which I always thought was kind of a cool idea. But people always said that was too cheesy. It was too much. But the video game thing made perfect sense because like that was when like video game systems were really fucking starting to get like an addiction again, you know.
Plus,
And
Nightmare video game came out like a few months prior to the movie.
oh really? I didn't know that timeline on that. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, especially with the merchandise.
All the Nintendo shit in there.
Okay, all right, that does make sense. But at Carlos's death, I think even though like it's kind of ridiculous, but it's a good one because it's so fucking. It's not just him slicing him up. It's like his head fucking explodes,
Of course.
and it's like yes. There is some pretty fucked up shit in this one too. Of course, with old girl and the whole scene with her dad in her dream.
Oh
Where
yeah.
he's like, "Oh, come, daddy, darling,"
Yeah.
or whatever the fuck. Like, you know, but I like the story of it. I like the story of it a lot, especially the fucking twist. Which, you know, when you first see it, you know, you're thinking this guy's. For those that don't know, the fucking story plot for this fucking movie is, this guy gets taken to a home after he's found in the middle of the desert or wherever the fuck, and he's convinced that he's Freddy Krueger's like long lost son. And if you haven't seen this movie, fuck you. Sorry, you should have already watched it. Turns out he is not the son, and you find out towards the end of it that it is in fact the woman who runs this sector of the children's home
his
thing.
therapist's daughter.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean I thought that was a pretty cool little thing there, like for them to kind of do that because usually at that time movies, especially slasher movies, didn't really have like anything kind of cool as a twist. You kind of already knew, and that one was kind of like it was a little bit of a shock. I was like, oh, okay, all right, because especially when he's like when the guy's like, oh, I'm just he's like, I'm not your, you're not my kid or whatever the fuck he says to him. And I just like I don't know. I think it's a damn good movie. It is funny. It's also really creepy because when they go to the neighbor, like to the town, and it's like there's no kids. That's when Roseanne and Tom Arnold like they show up and they're like, oh, we haven't seen da da da, and they can't get out of it. They're just going in a circle and going in a circle. And it's just that's a big fear. Is like you're never gonna get out of this place. That's a horrible
Happy
thing.
Hour said Super Spencer.
Super Spencer.
Super, yeah.
He's the apple.
But yeah, that his dad, like the version of his dad, beats the shit out of him with a fucking rake or a tennis racket.
Tennis racket, yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of funny. Like Freddy's over there playing, he's like, ha ha ha, like he's having a great time. Like I don't know, it's just it's a movie that holds a special place in my heart for many fucking reasons, like I said. But it also is one that if I want to watch a Freddy movie that's not the original, I usually pull for Freddy's Dead. So that's my number 3. Yeah,
it's a good movie. Like I said, it's my number 2 for all those wonderful reasons.
Yeah,
It's just really fun. Like it is definitely out there, and it's probably the furthest one out there. But like I always thought it was funny too. Like in horror movies, whenever someone smokes weed, they make that shit seem like they're taking like 20
he
hits
was
of acid.
fucking like
Yeah.
hallucinated.
He's
That's
like,
not
he's
what
fucking,
it
like,
does.
Freddy like has like they have like that Johnny Depp commercial come on. Like here's your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about
smokes
that.
in the face. And then fucking it turns into Iron Butterfly, and then he's just fucking tripping out.
Yeah, I never got that shit either in movies. It's like, dude, come on, you motherfuckers smoke weed. Is that no?
Right.
Like
Right.
no fucking way.
They always like, man, that shit just looked like a fucking blast back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Yeah, like Jesus Christ.
That was almost every horror movie. Like that had to be the theme. Like I don't know. Like I don't get it.
Mhm.
Like, they just made everybody just seem so fucking stupid after they got high.
Well, I'm glad times have changed because now the smartest one is the one like that smoked the weed in
Right.
those movies. Well, go look at Cabin in the Woods. The pothead prevails. Just saying. But yeah.
Yeah.
What's your
it's
number
like,
two, Dave? Huh?
one more thing with Freddy's Dead. It's like the
sorry.
goofiness was good because it balanced the dark. Because the dark shit of that movie, if you break it down, is really fucking dark.
It
So
is.
I think the goofiness kind of balanced it out. Because if you were to take out the goofiness, I don't think anybody would like the movie. It would just be way too much.
Well, the scene,
Yeah,
the scene whenever like they go into his workshop and he has like 20 different fucking gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
had that shit for a minute. So like I don't know how there's any fucking kids left in this town for real.
Yeah.
It's like half
That-
those clothes had dried blood and shit on them.
Yeah, that's
the
the
wife right in front of her.
Yeah,
yeah.
just to death.
But yeah, especially oh god, what was her name? The blonde with the dad.
Yeah, that I can't remember what her fucking name is.
I don't
forget what
either.
her name was.
I
But
just watched it earlier, so that's just
Well, don't admit that, Chad. Jesus.
shows you where my brain is.
it
Hey
was
man, where mine's
the
at?
guy that played the gluttony victim in Seven.
Oh yeah,
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. See, education. We're bringing education, folks.
This is an education.
We always learn shit. Off
Hell
each
yeah.
other.
We learn from each other. We do. It's great. We have a brotherhood here. We have a brotherhood here at Video Store Clerks.
And we're gonna.
Join us.
I'm gonna do my number 2 pick. But first, we're gonna play a scene. I'm gonna go with Nightmare 3. So we're gonna play a little scene from Nightmare 3 that I think is one of our favorite scenes in cinematic history. So buckle your seatbelts.
Locked during sleeping hours. We'll start a policy of evening sedation for everybody.
The fuck you will. Anybody tries drugs on me, get his ass kicked.
You just bought yourself a night in the quiet room, mister. Now sit down.
Fuck you. You sit down. He's a Kincaid. Nobody gonna put me to sleep. Man, get away from me, man. Let that go. Man, I don't want to go to sleep. Ain't nobody gonna put me to sleep. I don't want to go to sleep. Ain't nobody gonna put me to sleep. Get your hand. I ain't going to sleep.
That was not the scene I thought you were gonna play, but I do love that scene. Like that motherfucker has no fear. I love that. I love that guy. What's his fucking name in that again?
Would have survived.
That's what's his fucking name?
Kincaid.
Kincaid. Yeah, Kincaid.
I wish Kincaid would have survived.
Yeah. That's a very dramatic scene. Like I don't know why he didn't win any awards. Kill that motherfucker.
That's my favorite scene in the whole fucking Freddy franchise.
I do have to say real quick though, going back to Freddy's Dead about the gloves because that's you reminded me of something. Yeah, I remember watching that going, why haven't we seen these before?
Right?
Like that would be kind of cool. I mean, because he had one that was just, it had like spikes.
Stickers and they had like little fucking
Mhm.
hookies. Like, you know what I mean?
They look like fucked up sex toys. Is what they look
Yeah.
like. And it's like Jesus Christ, dude. Like some of those have been some interesting deaths. Probably shouldn't have waited till part 6 to fucking like figure, hey, let's put them some more like weapons to use that we'll never see. That's all.
What was I saying? Oh, so like I said, I struggled picking 3 of these movies, and so anyway, I'm gonna go with 3, but I don't know. I love them all. But part 3, Dream Warriors, and a lot of people would argue that it's better than the original.
I wouldn't argue that
I've
at
heard that a
all.
lot. I've heard that a lot. I don't think it's better than the original, but yeah, it's definitely and it's way better than the second one.
I love part 3. That's my
He's
number one.
inside me, Grady.
We're gonna get there at some point. I know
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna. I think we're gonna rip that movie apart here really soon, probably.
so to speak.
Yeah. Ugh.
In part 3, it took us like into a different place. We went inside the mental hospital. Like people were in these like full blown dream worlds now, and great kills.
Yeah.
Some of my most favorite kills. I think the girl that was a drug addict, that was probably my favorite.
Let's Get High.
Yeah.
When he does the thing where he's got needles on all his fingers.
Yeah.
Friends.
And her veins are like little mouths.
Yeah, it's so weird. And
Oh,
they make that
God.
sound. Yeah, it was so fucking disturbing.
It is fucking gross, actually.
And unfortunately, the last time we got to see Patricia Arquette one of these movies, which I thought she was great. That sucks. She got recast.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I wonder why that was. I wonder if she just didn't want to do it.
oh, right, the marionette.
Yeah, I saw that too.
First kill in that movie was the marionette.
Oh, that one hurts.
So good.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that might actually be my favorite one.
Yeah, that scene was so good.
Mhm.
That one hurts like
I
a
was thinking
motherfucker.
better, Welcome to the Prime Time, bitch. When she
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can't
see
leave
what I'm
that
saying,
out.
though?
Like,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the kills from that shit was dope.
Probably the lamest one was the Wizard Master, just because he picked him up and stabbed him, and that was it.
Yeah.
They're like, this is a bad idea. Just get rid of him quick.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that
I'm
fucking
the Wizard Master. Thanks, Harry Potter.
yeah.
just ran down in like the little fucking tunnel.
And
Yeah.
then for some reason he charged at him. I don't know why he did that. That was a bad idea. But yeah, that was probably the lamest one. But yeah, you're right. I think the Vein Marionette's probably my favorite.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that is good. I also gotta say that was my number 2.
Ah,
My dos.
My number 1.
Yeah. Actually, wait. No, that would be my number 1 also. My bad.
and
So,
two
yeah.
more cameos in that movie: Dick Cavett and Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Sam Jackson.
Sam
No,
Jackson.
Sam Jackson. No, Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
his Larry
Young
Fishburne. Yeah.
Larry Fishburne.
Yeah,
Yeah.
God, the fucking Sam Jackson would kick my ass if he would just heard me make that mistake.
Yes.
He could-
Yes.
Yeah, he would, because he almost fucking bit a guy's head off like verbally on a fucking interview once because he got him mixed up with Lawrence Fishburne. Oh God,
And you would
big
deserve
foul
it.
there.
We'll edit that part out.
You would deserve
No,
it.
don't do that.
I don't know if Lawrence Fishburne was he had a decent little part.
He was like one of the main, like the head nurse. Well, besides
But
the
it was,
bitch.
yeah, like he was I think he was like security or whatever, or like he
Yeah.
he did janitor stuff or
orderly.
some shit. Yeah, that's what it was. That's the word I was looking for.
Like in the
Thanks,
Fat Boys movie, The Orderlies.
Chad. Oh God, we won't even. We won't
Speaking of
even.
which, and 3 also had one of the best soundtracks.
Dokken.
Dokken.
And not the way everybody else
Okay.
knows as it is now. It's a band in the 80s.
Yeah.
No penis is touching. No.
It
Dude,
was a
band.
great song though.
it's I put it's kind of like you had Dawkins that got really popular with Dream Theater or Dream Theater, Dream Warriors, and then like you also like would have Jason with
yeah.
Jason Lives with Alice Cooper and all that stuff
Yeah.
later on, same time. I can't remember. And those are very memorable songs. Yes, Dawkins. My stepdad is a big Dawkins fan. I'm not. George Lynch is a beast behind the fucking 6-string, but I can't stand fucking what's his fucking name? Don Dawkins. I'd love to kick him in his throat. I really would. But it's a very memorable song. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Richard agrees. 3 was so awesome because when I was a kid, lucid dreaming was such a badass concept, and these
True.
guys all were controlling the dream instead of letting the fear take over. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think that was the cool thing about it, because it was something different. Just like in Friday the 13th when you know, you had New Blood and you had the psychic element of stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of, I like it when movies do that shit. You know, and also it made perfect sense that they were able to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And one last element of part 3 was Heather Langenkamp coming back as Nancy.
Yep.
They pulled out all the stops off after that fucking second one came out.
We had to.
They had to get that shit back on track quick.
We had to.
That fucking dude, the fucking Bill Maher looking motherfucker, like yeah, he just fucking annoyed the shit out of me. And also John Saxon comes back as Nancy's dad.
Oh,
He's
that's
a
right.
drunk,
Mm-hmm.
and fucking old Bill Maher dude fucking punks him out in the middle of a bar, and it's like I don't see that happening. John Saxon was kind of a badass, but you know, whatever. You know, when he's drunk, John Saxon, we don't know. I don't know how he was.
This man's fought Bruce Lee. Yo, you're not gonna win this battle.
True.
And I think he got demoted. I think he was like a demoted to a security guard or something.
I think it was something like that. Yeah.
You know, he wasn't like the sheriff anymore, which was interesting. You know,
Yeah.
we didn't have to get like the whole backstory, but you can kind of guess what all happened since the first
Right.
Right. Everything just kind of fucked his head up.
one. And the whole thing with burying his bones and all that was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, spoiler: Nancy dies in the end.
She had
Yes. And it also has a very memorable creature that Freddy turns into. The big giant worm. You know, where he's eating Patricia Arquette, literally.
I'll see. Like it's a famous meme now. I see it.
Yeah, I see a lot too.
Yeah, that one there, like that shit. That's usually the one. If I want to watch a nightmare, if it's not the first one, I grab part 3.
Definitely.
Yeah, I can dig that.
I just loved Kincaid. Like, he was the shit. Like,
Yeah, which he comes. Isn't he?
he's in part 4.
Is he in part 4?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
because
Okay.
him and Joey and her are the
Yeah.
only ones who survived.
See, I always because in Freddy's Dead, I always kept thinking that was him, but that was Kincaid in Freddy's
him
Dead.
and Doc. Yeah, Doc.
Yeah, I always get that fucking. That always fucks me up.
There, too.
Mhm.
This is the dude from Aliens.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we literally just had that conversation maybe like what 20 minutes before we had everything
yeah.
set up.
Back to Alien again. That's weird.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it's just it tells the
Meant to
future
be.
what's gonna happen.
Go ahead, sir.
see, I'm
I
a
think I'm
mind
done.
fucked right now because like he picked my number 2 and you picked my number 1.
I'm not even keeping track.
But I mean,
Just say whatever. Because they're all good.
fuck. We'll go 4. We'll go back to Kincaid.
Oh shit. Well, 4 is my number 1. Just
Like I
say
said,
whatever.
We always touch on everyone anyway, so fuck it.
So it don't matter.
And that's what works out.
4 was dope aside from the fact that they fucked everything up and recasted.
Yeah,
They made it almost made it hard to watch.
Yeah.
I didn't like her.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Looked
it's
nothing
her
like
face.
except for the blonde hair.
Right.
She
Yeah,
she.
To me, she was like the worst part of that movie, which is
I
like why
agree.
it really wouldn't be on my top 3 because she would ruin it for me. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it was a good movie though. Like, aside if you take her out of it, like if you just actually would just think of everything she says as Patricia Arquette, like it works like way better.
That's too much.
hello, baby.
Yeah, like that dude cracked me up.
Dude, I love that fucking song. That's one of my favorite songs that I have that fucking like that series that I've heard. Yes, I love that fucking song.
Anything.
Like, that's a damn good song. And I love that whole montage where he's all like he's getting his shit out or whatever. Like that isn't 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
okay, yeah, that's right. All right, because that's the thing about 4 and 5. They when
I
you
get 'em
you
fucked
see
up
them
sometimes.
enough, you get them mixed up, and that's usually my issue too. Yeah,
that scene's
but yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Anything you want. $100
dollar
bills.
bills. It's going on my
Love that
playlist.
song too.
Yeah,
Anytime I say I love that song, nobody ever knows what I'm talking about.
dude, that's my shit. I love that shit. It's so catchy, and it's like I want to cover it one day. I don't know how we would pull that off,
Oh,
but
you totally should.
that would be pretty badass. I'm gonna have to bring that up to Josh. I'm gonna bring that up to Josh about that.
Oh, see, now my mind's like, oh,
everywhere.
yeah,
Too bad we can't. I don't know. We could probably get away with playing that song on here, I guess.
probably not.
No.
I would say.
Not even gonna try.
I would say.
I'm not even
you-
gonna test the waters
Yeah,
anymore.
we're not on good terms right now. So.
Yeah, kind of on a probation period. I'm guessing. Like,
Yeah, we're
you repeat offenders.
Yeah, we're on until the last week in August, I think.
oh yeah,
Yeah, if we get another strike, we're out for a month.
that's terrible.
Yeah, that's not good. We just got a whole bunch of fucking like followers. We don't need that shit.
Yeah, it's sketchy too. Like, because you never know if you're like doing videos for the other show. Like, whew, like you never know what's gonna happen until you put it up.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Part 4.
No, but I really like the fact that Alice kept getting their powers or their souls or whatever the fuck, and then she
Mhm.
got all fucking tough at the end.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't understand was like, what exactly is that little fucking box? Like, I never understood it. Like the one that the chick that had the fucking asthma attack and died, and then she
Yeah.
picked up that little black box that she fucking plugs into the fucking wall when she grabs a big ass wire and shocks the shit out of him.
It was something used for bugs in the movie. It was to repel bugs for the other girl because she hated bugs.
Well, that's stupid.
Which that is a fucked up. There's a figure of that chick too.
Yeah.
The chick that turns into a cockroach. That
Yeah.
scene. Do you remember? You remember the TV show she was on?
Just the 10 of us.
Just the 10 of us. Yeah. Okay. Ridiculous fucking like sitcom back in the day. But as a kid, I loved it, and that's where I remember her from when I first saw it.
Langenkamp was on that show too.
Really?
She was the nerdy one. Yeah. But that scene's pretty fucking brutal. I mean, that's a pretty disgusting scene. But it's another one of those that people gave a lot of shit about. They wanted to like bitch about it and shit. They said it was too cheesy, but it's like that's the beauty of nightmare movies is he can do pretty much whatever.
Right. I just like how like in like on the side of the box it says Roach Motel on it,
Yeah.
and then he
Yeah.
squashes it.
I didn't notice that till I watched it in high definition.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
One
It's
of
actually, like, brutal too because when she's on the bench press, he's
Mhm.
pushing down
Yeah.
on the bar
Yeah.
and breaks her arms.
Oh.
That's fucking brutal.
yeah. Like
Her whole face falls off. Like what the fuck?
like you can't get away from the fact that like even like because you know I'm more of a Jason fan than Freddy fan, you know that, but I am also a fan regardless, and I like it when movies are able to take it a different step. You know, I mean, just like with Friday the 13th with like New Blood, like I really like that movie. A lot of people had issues with it, but I liked it. With this, Freddy's always able to do something interesting,
Right.
keep you kind of going, huh? Okay, and you always knew because you knew when didn't she squash a bug earlier on in the
Yeah.
movie? So you kind of already like had a thought of like something's gonna fuck with her when it comes to bugs, you know. But you weren't expecting she was gonna turn into one, and Freddy just steps on her.
Smasher.
Mhm.
Like it's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful.
Kind of get an idea the first time you meet the teenagers. Like she's scared of bugs. The one girl has asthma. Rick's the karate guy. You know, you kind of get an idea with what's going to happen.
Their dad's
Yeah,
an
who's-
alcoholic dick.
Yeah, dad's an alcoholic.
Yeah. It's like it's like okay, how fucked up do these people get? Like, you know, and that's like I said, that's the beauty of it. It's just like with the cockroach thing, you're not really expecting it, and when it happens, you're like, whoa, that was because I remember when I first saw that fucking movie when I was a kid. Like, I had just gotten into the Nightmare series and all that, and I was at my grandmother's house because they would come because they would always come on Friday the 13th movies and Nightmare on Elm Street movies would always come on USA, and 4 and 5 were always ones that I constantly watched. And when I watched that scene in that movie, it made me gag when I was a kid. I was just like, ugh! Like there was just something, just like, cause like, and I love that though, because it gave me that much of a reaction. Even now, I think I gag at it. But like, you know, it's like the stretching of the fucking skin, and it's all like all gooey. Like, yeah, ugh. And I know, and cockroaches are disgusting anyway, and I'm not a fan either. So.
See, I always like the scene whenever Freddy goes in the diner and fucking plucks the meatball off the pizza.
yeah,
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
And faces on him. And then he
that
eats her
was
brother.
great. That was great. Stabbed
Yeah.
him right through the fucking head.
And then he makes that weird
You're
ass
such a
face,
little
too.
meatball.
That's great. That whole scene's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Which was
Yeah.
played to Alice's biggest fear, which was I'm going to be stuck working in this diner my whole life.
Right.
And older Alice waits on her, and then he shows up with that fucking pizza. I almost forgot
and-
about that pizza. That was great.
And it's crazy because that also goes back to like part 6 about the idea of never being able to get out.
Right.
You know, and then because they actually, and thinking about it, they do play on that quite a bit because remember she leaves at one point and they do the same thing over and over again. And you know, I think we could all relate to that in some way.
Yeah, they tried to Alice and Dan tried to get to the cockroach girl. I'm sorry, I forget her name. Before Freddy got to her, and Freddy just had him going in circles.
Yeah.
And I remember going to see it. We thought there was something wrong with the reel because it kept playing over and over again. Then you're like, oh, okay.
That's one, and they're like,
Because
hey, we've done this
you could
before.
hear everybody like mumbling to them, like, is something wrong? Do we have to go get the manager? What? No, it's Freddy. It's Freddy. Oh,
Freddy's fucking everybody up.
The girl with asthma, that's a pretty brutal death scene too.
You suck face.
Yeah, like, and that's probably the cheesiest one out of them, I think, on that one. Because it's just
Oh, what was her name? God damn it.
Terrible
What was
with
her name?
names.
yeah. They're I think actually, I can't remember at Scarefest. That's why Robert Englund's going to be there. There's a bunch of people from, I don't know if it's different people from different Nightmare movies or a certain one, because they usually do like a theme where it's like everybody from part 4 or something like that. But I'll tell you what, though, I would love to meet the fucking brother. I would like to meet him. Be like, dude, you're one of my favorite characters. You're badass.
He really was.
And he dressed so 80s back then.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
fuck yeah, dude. The overcoat. Fucking, he dressed like John Cusack, okay?
He had
Totally.
the hair and everything.
Even like the one scene, the one chick's like, "What do you put
I
in
was
your
just
hair?"
thinking that. I was like, Rick, all the years I've known you, I always want to know what the hell the shit is that you put in your hair.
It's actually horse semen, and they don't tell us.
I wonder if
That was
that
the
was
first-
and they cut it out.
That would be really hilarious if that was actually true. That came right out of my ass with
Kind of weird.
that. So
I wonder what
Have we,
size.
Oh, God.
what?
I wonder
No
what
socks this
size-
week. No socks.
No
size-
socks. No socks this week, guys. Come on. Let's not do that. We're having fun. Okay. I am serious here. God damn it. No, I'm just kidding. So we've pretty much come to the conclusion that we like, because part 3 would be my number 1 and part 4 would be my number 2. So we all pretty much like covered like
Our
all of
picks,
those.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So oh, what?
I flipped them. I'm going with 4 as my number 1. Because 4
Okay.
has a special place in my heart.
I could
It was the
dig
first one I
that.
went to the theater to go see. And I went dressed as Freddy.
That's awesome. That does make sense.
I was
Yeah.
like 8 years old.
I just want to know if it's time to trash part 2 yet. Is it time yet?
Sure.
I'm down.
I didn't know. Because I that's all I'm saying. I didn't know because it seems like we all have the same picks for
Right.
more or less. So yeah. So let's talk about.
Part fucking 2. Oh my God. Even when I was a kid, I hated it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on as a kid.
Yeah, I didn't get all the sex stuff
No.
when I was like 7 years old or whatever. But even I knew, like, the part when he goes out by the pool and starts killing the kids. I'm like, he's not supposed to do that. He's not in the dream world.
Yeah. They totally.
Even as a kid, I hated part 2.
I just didn't like. Okay, because I remember again getting into those movies, and I finally saw part 2. I was like, oh shit! Well, I've got to watch these. I love the first one. Da, da, da. I saw 4 and 5 and 3 before I saw 2.
Mhm.
When I saw 2, I didn't know what the fuck I was watching, because after watching the other ones and watching the original and stuff, like you said, it's like he's not supposed to do that. And what the fuck? Why is he dancing on his bed? Why is he? Because I get that Mark, whatever his name is actually gay, and that's no fucking problem at all. But were they trying? Because the character himself wasn't supposed to be,
Right.
and it kind of confused me as a kid because I'm just kind of like, I don't know what is he's popping the thing. I don't get it. And he's got this like hot little Reddit. Now as an older person, like I'm watching, I'm like, she's not the fucking love interest. She's just the best friend.
Yeah.
And again, not a fucking issue, but they didn't really make that known. And then they also put in the fucking leather bar scene with the coach. I don't know what kind of drugs the fucking like writer and director of this fucking movie was on. I don't. He's inside me, Grady. Who writes this shit? Like you knew they fucking knew that when they wrote that fucking line, they had to have been fucking high because they knew that was going to get a response. How could it fucking not? He's inside me, Grady.
He goes, Mr. Grady, Dad fucking, he goes, something is trying to get inside my body. Like I said, when I was a kid, I didn't get it, but man,
You know, I I've gone back to that movie so many times, and I try,
Yeah.
because I'm like, okay, it's an interesting concept with like the book being found, like Nancy's diary and all that. That was kind of a cool element to it. The whole thing with the bus, like the opening of the movie where he's on the bus, that was cool. That kind of piqued my interest to it. But as the movie went on, you're just going, huh? What?
Yeah, everything was
Like-
just so out of place.
Wait, I realized the movie is rated R and kids shouldn't fucking like really see it, but come on, we all saw the shit when we were fucking kids, and we're all going, why is the coach, why is he doing that to? I don't know, Grandma. Like it was confusing as fuck. I mean, there are some interesting moments in it, when he at the pool scene where he's going ape shit and it's like a fucking toddler having a fit. That's pretty much what it is. He's like, it's cheesy as fuck. How the fuck did that, like, the franchise fucking survived off the second one? I don't know.
I don't know neither.
But I'm glad it did, because we got some great movies out of it, no matter what anybody fucking says. I mean, they redeemed themselves with 3, as we've talked about.
Yeah.
Two just is one of those that, like, I'll watch it every now and then, like usually every 3 years. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a watch. And I'm usually going, this is why I don't watch this all the time. It's just not good. And also, I gotta say that I watched that documentary about that Mark guy, the guy that plays
Mark Baker.
Mark.
I forget.
And have you seen that, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah,
On
most
Shudder?
of it.
Yeah. It's
Like,
what's
I
it
don't
We
called
haven't
again?
done a Shudder plug in a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Shutter.
Yeah, just get Shudder. It doesn't matter who you are now. But
Scream Queen, I believe it was called.
yeah.
I never
Watching
felt-
that,
It wasn't. I thought it would be more about the movie too, and it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It was more about him.
Yeah.
Which is fine, I guess. I'm just saying. I thought more of the movie would be.
It was all like hearsay shit because it was like the writers
Yeah.
and directors kind of like saying stuff, and then he had to go and fucking confront them and ask them all these questions and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
Like,
just all this shit.
the,
that I
the
kinda-
guy's an asshole.
eh,
That documentary shows how big of a fucking like me narcissistic diva asshole he really is. I've known people that have met him and said that he comes off that way.
oh really?
Yeah, like he just like, I mean, if you come up and like I don't know, unless he's just been in a bad mood with people that I've known 3 people 3 different times that have met him, and they're just like, he just comes off like a dick.
I forgot about
He's
that
very
one.
he thinks that Freddy's Revenge is the best sequel, and the reason it's not more liked is because of the gay stuff. And it's like, no, that's not why.
Like I said, I didn't understand the gay stuff when I was a kid, and I still hated it.
Right.
I still didn't like
It
it.
had nothing.
It's
to
got
do with
nothing to do with
It
that.
had nothing to do with that. It was not a good script.
Yeah,
It wasn't a
not
good script, and
They
frankly,
broke all the rules, and none of it made any sense. That's why.
yeah,
It was
you know,
weird.
I mean, good on him for having the legacy of what he is, like, as the actor in the worst fucking Freddy movie there is, and all that shit, like, whatever. And again, maybe he just had bad days. But watching that documentary especially, it's like, you really are a fucking like douche. Like you really are. So enjoy your life. And the thing is, a lot of people that worked on that movie, if I remember correctly, don't care for him much because of how he acted and how he is in general. Like he's a dick. He's just trying to get money.
We never really saw him again. Not
No,
that
I
I know
don't
of.
think so.
I don't know what.
No, he wasn't mentioned. I don't think.
I don't think so neither.
I don't
So
think
it
it
sounds
was-
like he's just living off what
One movie.
reputation the second one had. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't. And in the part with Nancy's diary, I feel like that was the only way they could tie it in to the first one at all.
Yeah.
And like a
Yeah.
teenage girl leaving behind her diary was kind of weird. I don't really.
Yeah,
know
nobody found it. It's
Yeah.
just sitting there.
Mhm.
Kind of weird.
It's
you
just
know.
a bad script.
You've got the body, I've got the brains was actually a decent line. Now that Richard mentioned that, and I kind of agree. That was actually kind of a decent line. I mean, but
Yeah.
still, and I don't know if it was supposed to be Jesse. That was his name in the movie.
Jesse, yeah.
Was it supposed to be Jesse going out to the pool and attacking people? I don't know. I don't
See,
know.
it doesn't really.
I feel
It
like
makes
I'm
you
not
think
making
that, but
for it.
Right,
yeah.
you're not going to see Freddy till like the end anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And that's at the fucking party scene.
Like I get the whole thing about okay, Freddy's gonna possess this dude,
Yeah.
and all that. Like okay, but they could have done that. They could have went about that a different way. There was so much shit in there, just like even going back to the leather bar shit, that wasn't needed.
Yeah.
I mean that really wasn't. I mean that threw everybody through a fucking loop.
Right.
It's like why is he at the school? Why is the coach being this way? Why are we spending so much time about this?
Yeah.
There's a reason why the movie gets a lot of hate, and it's not for the reason why fucking Duder wants to fucking say it is.
Like
It's
if they
because the
could've
movie's not
explained it
good.
somehow with everything, like kind of how they did with what part 5, whenever like her fetus is like the one having the fucking dreams. You know what I mean? Like that'd be different. But there's no way to fucking do that in this movie. Like you can't make excuses for this shit. It's just bad.
If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
That's bottom line on that shit.
If
And
they focused on a story and that Freddy had to possess a teenager to walk among the land of the living.
yeah.
Maybe he was trying to escape the dream world, something like that. But no,
Explain it.
You spent all the time in the fucking leather bar.
Yeah. If they would have explained something like that, then okay, maybe I would give it a little bit more of a, because that would make sense. He wants to, but at the same point, it also wouldn't make sense because he likes being what he is.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even be able to see him wanting to escape the dream world because the dream world, he is God.
Yeah. Because, that's the thing. Why would he?
It is. So it doesn't make sense. It's a piece of shit film. Period. I don't care what anybody says. That movie sucks.
And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think there was a high kill count in that movie. I think there was a bunch of side characters at the pool that got killed, but I think other than that, it was all the coach, Grady and the coach.
I was gonna say the coach. Yeah.
But was that it? I think that
that might be it actually.
What's funny? I think it is actually.
I couldn't even
'Cause
tell you the last time I actually watched that movie for real though.
It's been a minute for me too.
It's been years.
Yeah, I think there's not that many kills in it. What was I gonna say? Shit. I was gonna say it. Fucked me up. Yeah, no, movie sucks. Movie fucking blows. Everybody that's in that movie, good on them. That's great, but that movie just does not work. There's not. I mean, there really is. I will say this though: the scene with the school bus, like I mentioned, I remember seeing like that trailer on another VHS way before I even saw it, and thought that was kind of cool. That was creepy as fuck. You know what I mean? Like the girls are running and all that stuff. He's coming down the fucking aisle. That's cool. That's probably the only scene in that movie that I actually am like, that's all right.
Because you can probably relate to it. I think a lot of us can. When we were kids, the creepy bus driver.
Yeah, like everybody had that kind of like thing. I think that was probably a good reason for it. But other than that,
can't relate at all.
That was really the coolest part of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
They shot.
Yeah, it really was.
5 minutes.
Yeah. And also another thing about the coach, I think it's really funny. The guy that plays him, I can't remember his fucking name.
It's a Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer guy.
There's an old show back in the day, Sledgehammer.
Really? I never seen that.
He was actually
he was in Airheads.
Guy originally hired in Twins.
Twins,
to drive the car to Texas.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Guy's been in a shit ton of movies.
Yeah.
And he's hilarious. Like in Airheads, he's in that. Like he's like getting like shitty because of like the pool boy shit.
Pool equipment.
Yeah, like so like that makes those parts of that movie funny. That's you can't watch it now. If you've seen any of his comedy things, especially in Airheads, and then you go back and watch Freddy's Revenge and see that character, and there's no like it was already funny, and then it's even funnier. If that makes sense. Like that movie should just be wiped away. Wiped away.
I mean, it is technically for me because, like I said, it's probably been 6 or 7 years since I've watched it.
I don't think anybody counts it.
Because I used to watch it. I had like a Nightmare marathon. I'd watch them all like religiously. Like it didn't matter if I really liked them or not.
Like I don't even think it's canon.
I definitely skip that one majority of the time now.
It's okay to skip that one. No one, and that's the thing. No one holds it against you.
Yeah.
You know, like it's. There was something else that I wanted to say about it. I don't know. Yes, Freddy can do whatever he wants, and the movies get fucking weird. But
he
I've
never
only
did
met
the real world. That's the rule.
Yeah, and that's I've met one person that I had to argue with about this until everybody else was like, "Dude, what do you mean you like this movie?" And like, where I'm just like, I need you to give me a good reason why you like this movie. What is your? And they really couldn't give me a good reason. And it's just a bunch of fucking bullshit. I can't remember some of the reasons that were said, but they changed their mind, and like me and like 4 other people were like having a stupid nerdy horror argument outside of a bar.
Best argument,
right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It almost goes to blows over fucking Freddy's Revenge. But the thing is, that's the other thing is Freddy's Revenge. That fucking movie took a really like classic kind of title. Freddy's Revenge. Come on, man. Whenever you heard anything about anything revenge, or it's like a sequel or something, it's like you're like, yeah, okay. That it didn't do that, and then they couldn't make another one called that because they already called this shitty movie that, and that's sad to me.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. That's why I don't really like the I guess sequel titles, how they have like their separate little things sometimes, because that right there can kind of give the movie away.
Yeah.
Except for Jason Takes Manhattan, because he didn't take shit.
He took a boat.
Jason on a boat.
Took a boat.
I'm on a boat. It's like Jason just dancing around. Shitty.
Need to have the Merkins redo that.
Yeah. It should have been called Jason Takes a Boat. But it'd been a totally different, like, I think it would have been a totally different movie. Because then they wouldn't have gone to Manhattan. They would just been on the boat.
Right? That would probably been a better movie. I mean,
or Jason Goes to Manhattan.
Movies too, though, but
yeah,
it's still
like Jason Goes to Manhattan. Come on, that
Jason in open water, battling sharks.
That could be. I mean, live underwater.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Just chain him down there underneath their water with a machete. He's slicing sharks in it.
Yeah, that'd be badass.
That sounds like a fun side game.
Fan film.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
do we have any more thoughts on part 2? Or have we? I think we already moved on.
I think we only had one thought on it, really, and it was just it sucks.
It sucked.
And we're given reasons why it sucks.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely curious.
Like, if anybody out there likes it, I
If
won't
anybody
judge
likes
you,
it,
but
yeah, I'd really like to hear reasons
I
why
might.
anybody likes it.
I would rather hear the reasons. Yeah, like,
I can't
won't
even
judge,
fucking
I just
talk
wanna
anymore.
hear
If there's anybody that's listening or watching and you totally disagree with that, let us know.
Yeah, please.
Why? Because we could even do that as a segment for like an episode. If somebody can give us a good reason why we should like that movie and get over a
really want
chance.
to hear it. I actually really seriously
too.
would like to hear it.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's possible to have a fucking like good argument over that fucking piece of shit.
Either really, it's bad. It's just a bad movie.
Very bad movie.
Well, we decided earlier we were going to give an honorable mention to the TV show,
Mm-hmm.
Freddy's Nightmares. My God, we've been on this for an hour already.
Oh wow,
Time flies. Does everybody remember the TV show? I love the TV show.
I haven't seen every episode, but I've got a couple of VHSs over here.
Oh,
I haven't seen every episode either, but I didn't realize
I don't
there
know
was
if I did or not.
44 fucking episodes.
It was on
Yeah.
for a couple years, and it also came out at like the height of his popularity, which was in '88. It was on from '88 to '90, I believe.
Yeah.
Came on Saturday nights at 9. It started as a prequel to the original. Robert Englund was even in it, and Toby Hooper even directed the first episode.
Yep, the one about Freddy,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which I've got that one.
It went off and did its own thing. It turned to like a Tales from the Crypt kind of thing, an anthology series, which actually used to be really popular back then.
But he still had
Yeah.
like a cool part in every episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was like the Crypt Keeper. He came on at the beginning and introduced it, and was there at the end.
He was usually part of the storyline too, like in
Mhm.
some episodes.
In some way, yeah. Like
Yeah.
even Brad Pitt was in one of the episodes, I believe. All kinds.
There was a lot of people.
Mhm.
There was a lot of people in that show. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. It slowly started. I don't think it has a Blu-ray release yet. I don't think. But it's on one of the streaming channels now. Which one was
It's
it?
on a Screenbox.
Screenbox. I think
Screenbox.
that's the first time ever it's ever been available on a streaming channel. I don't know what was going on. I think it's a rights issue. Warner Brothers took over the rights. I don't think New Line.
I think you can also watch. I think you can also watch episodes of it on YouTube.
Yeah,
I
you can
think.
probably find them. Yeah, they're out there somewhere. It's the fucking internet. You can find it.
Yeah.
But it was on like the same block as Tales from the Dark Side came on first, then a show called Monsters, which was also an anthology show that a lot of
I
people
forgot
don't
about
know
that show.
I used to love that show.
I forgot about that show.
And then Freddy's Nightmares came on, and then that god awful Friday the 13th, the series came on after that. I turned the TV off right after Freddy's Nightmares was over. I hated the Friday the 13th one. It had nothing to do with Jason.
It was okay if you just look past the fact that it wasn't what you were hoping.
Yeah.
See, I was actually thinking about like that whenever we were doing this whole shit with like
Yeah,
this.
it's just why did they
whenever
call it
we-
Friday
whenever-
the 13th?
Whenever we talked about the Freddy's Nightmare shit, and then I thought about the Friday the 13th episodes. Like, if you take out like the Jason aspect,
Yeah.
like, because technically everybody else refers to Friday the 13th as just a bad luck day. You know what I mean? So I mean,
Yeah.
like, a lot of the goofy shit would happen. So I mean, I get it, but there's not that many Friday the 13ths in a year. So
Yeah,
it's still kind of fucked up, even taking.
that is true. That is very true. I didn't think about that.
Like, there's only one
you know-
Friday the 13th this year, and that was like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have thought about the idea, like if they were to do a Friday the 13th like mini series kind of thing, where it's maybe showing some things about the having to do with the camp. Like, you know, like you can see like a Netflix fucking original like miniseries kind of thing where it's like things that were going on around the time that Jason died. It doesn't really focus on Jason, but Jason's there. Then he dies, and then you know the things that are going around. Like it would just be like a in my head it would be just kind of like a weird horror drama. I don't know how you
like
do that.
Bates
but-
Motel, like what Bates Motel.
exactly.
And
Yeah, that's a good example.
More about his mom too.
Yeah.
Is anybody out there listening? We have ideas.
You know, like it's not like they could actually have a show kind of like Freddy's Nightmares 2 because
Mhm.
Jason don't talk. Like he can't really host a show if he's just going to be sitting there looking,
Yeah.
just chilling.
If if you look on YouTube, look at the episode of the Arsenio Hall show that Jason was on to promote part
He
eight.
just sits there.
But it was actually
gotta-
really entertaining. But you couldn't
You
do
gotta-
every episode like that.
No,
Yeah, he kind of freaks Arsenio out, and I think he was genuinely freaked out
Yeah.
because I think it was Kane, and because it was when Jason Takes Manhattan came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a pretty intimidating looking guy in that shit. I ain't gonna lie. I think if I was sitting next to him like that too, I'd be a little weird. You know, like you're the guy. You know.
he is the guy.
But yeah, I think if you got two really good actors, again, like Bates Motel did, if you got two really good actors in the leads, I think you could actually have something with Pamela and Jason.
Yeah, like I mean, it would like show like, I mean, because like I said, not make because we don't want to see a show that just shows a poor kid that being picked on and tormented. We don't want to see that.
So maybe you could do it with
he would be-
Pamela and her husband.
Well, I mean, you could have. I mean, yeah, you could have that, but I mean, you would have Jason. There'd be a character of Jason that would be, whatever, and then the shit happens, but like not maybe like right at first.
Mhm.
Like you got to go for the dramatic thing on that, and then shit that might have gone down right after that happened around the time that fucking Mrs. Voorhees starts losing her fucking mind after that,
Mhm.
showing her like descent into fucking craziness, and then maybe it end where like around the time where like Friday the 13th the original starts, like with the kids being fucking killed out in when they're making out or whatever in the beginning of that.
You just did a Pamela series. I think it would actually be really good. Maybe not show that. You could probably get 3 seasons out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
Listening?
Just call it Voorhees.
Hello.
Oh, right there. Yeah, Voorhees. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So,
Is anybody listening? Is anybody listening?
is everybody in? is everybody in the secret gallery is about to begin.
What are we thinking on next week? Then we thinking about aliens?
I'm cool with that with doing aliens. My daughter's a huge alien fan, and that was like always our thing. And I told her that we were gonna probably do that soon. So
Wrapping up, I think.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up too, sir. Thank you for dropping by.
oh
Well,
yeah,
Any
Thanks,
any
listeners.
final thoughts from the Nightmare series before we close up the store?
classics.
It is good.
That's it.
There's always like one or two stinkers out of every big movie
Mhm.
franchise, like talking like 6 or plus movies, you know what I mean? So two
It's
is
just weird that number 2 is the worst.
Yeah.
Definitely by far.
Number 2 is shit.
Shite.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you for dropping by the store. The girl overeating, right?
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
That was a 5, I believe. Well, anyway, it's getting late. We could go on all night though about this. I guarantee it.
Easy.
I feel like we could.
But we're gonna close up the store for the evening. We thank you all for dropping by. Tune in next Wednesday at 10 p.m.
Yeah,
I
that'll work.
believe. Okay, that'll
10
work.
p.m.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Dave.
I'm Chad.
I'm Chuck.
Does anybody have anything going on they want to plug before we lock up?
Nope.
Nope. We don't.
Well, I got some band shit and stuff real quick. First off, the comic book tells the podcast that we did a comic book called Tales of Shock and Terror. You can go to tellsthepodcast.com, find all the information on there for all our shows as well as the comic book, and you can order from there. And then band wise, July 24th, but it's actually going on from the 23rd to the 25th. Is the Fuck Cancer Metal Fest 11 that we play every year in Lebanon Junction, Kentucky. And you can find all the information. Like you can go to the Bastard Sons of Judas Go website or the Fuck Cancer Metal Fest 11 page. Check all that shit out. A lot of great bands that are going to be there. And yeah, come say hi. It's for a good cause.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, once again, from your humble video store clerks, this is Video Store Clerks. The store is closed. Join us next week. Good night. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
This is Video Store Clerks. All movies, all the time. Welcome to the store.